Chance the Rapper is about to be the biggest rapper in the world. This album hit me with the woo-wop to bam!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Coloring Book, hip-hop's ray of sunshine.
Yeah.
Chance the Rapper.
Now, some of you may know Chance the Rapper from various things. He had an album, a mixtape called Acid Rap that made waves. It got positive reviews. Wasn't really mainstream. Your average person still hasn't heard of him.
But he's collaborated with a lot of artists.
Especially most recently Kanye West. He was featured on Kanye's opening track of his perfect, in my opinion, album, The Life of Pablo. And he absolutely decimated the track. His verse is so memorable. It's one of my favorite hip-hop verses ever. And I love listening to it. I think he is such an interesting character, interesting MC. And he's just so damn likable.
He's so charismatic. He's like a cartoon character in not a bad way.
I feel like the first time I really loved Chance was when I heard that he would go do his live shows and perform the Arthur theme song, like from the kids show, like, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. Like, he would play that at his show and sing it, and I'm like, this guy's different. There's something to him. And he never really had a chance to jump into the mainstream until Kanye was like, here, be at the forefront of my album, I believe in you. And after that, just a few months later, we have Coloring Book, and wow, we just listened to it, and I can't believe how good it was.
Let's just say Coloring Book is the perfect description, the perfect title for this album. It's filled with color, filled with energy, filled with, like, PG-rated positivity coming from a rapper, and it's just, like, what the hip-hop community needs. Like, someone like Chance the Rapper, you know?
Yeah. There are so many, not just talking about musically, there are so many mundane albums coming out in hip-hop right now. There's definitely, like, bursts of people like, you know, you have your Kendrick Lamars, you have your Run the Jewels, you have your Kanye West that are coming out with these incredible albums. But hip-hop right now is kind of in a weird place where I feel like a lot of them are trying to do the same thing. And it gets old.
Like, talk about themselves and, like, how rich they are?
Yeah, but not even lyrically. It's just even the sound of them. They all have this same vibe where it's like they're trying to make these club hits or they're trying to make these songs that just anyone could just, like, listen to, like, mindlessly. And Chance on this album, this is the most real hip-hop album I've heard in a long time that's not talking about polarizing subjects or extremely controversial subject matter.
He's, like, so thankful and selfless and just, like, it really engages you into wanting to listen to these lyrics and this whole album in full.
He's so positive. I feel like if you're in a bad mood and you listen to this album, you will instantly be in a good mood. Let's talk about the tracks.
So let's just start off by saying number one should be your anthem.
My anthem?
Yes!
Why?
It says music is all we got, which is like Matt's life.
It's true. It's all I got. Literally, that's it. It's just a bed in this. Help me. This is a nice call and response to Kanye's opener, Ultralight Beam. It's just this really hopeful, soulful, you know, you have a chorus in the background of like a choir, and it's just a really nice tone for the album, and the album keeps that positive mentality throughout the entire thing while staying super fun to listen to and really interesting with the way he you know, progresses these songs one to another. It's not standard by any means.
So now let's go to No Problem. I'm not as familiar with Kanye as, you know, Matt is, but it definitely reminded me right off the bat of like an old school Kanye sound, like a young Kanye.
College dropout era,
yes.
like late registration, yes. He's hungry like young Kanye.
Yes.
He has something to prove like young Kanye, and he's proving it like young Kanye did. What's cool about this album is that it's kind of like a who's who of the rap game that he features on it. Throughout the whole album, he has Future, T-Pain,
Justin
Bieber, 2 Chainz, Lil Wayne, Kanye, and honestly, he outshines all of them. This is Chance's show. He's showing everyone this is what I can do, and I'm going to have all these people be my accessories, and they're going to help bolster it. But ultimately, this is Chance showing off that he's capable of doing this by himself if he needed to. This track had 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne on it. Both put great verses up. 2 of them, I'm not really big fans of the album they just put out recently together. I thought it was kind of eh. I think 2 Chainz is only good as a feature, and this song actually proves my theory more to myself.
Dude, don't talk bad about 2 Chainz. He's from H-Town.
I'm not talking bad. I'm just saying he's only good as a feature.
I'm kidding.
Summer Friends is the first song where Chance actually kind of raps in full throughout most of the song and kills it. DRAM Sings Special is just a really pretty, like, 2-minute interlude. Fits the vibe of the album. Again, he's really crafting this with such finesse. Instead of talking about the negative, I feel like he's a glass half full kind of guy. And he absolutely, on Blessings, just has this... I mean, that's the single on the album. Mm-hmm. He just hits you with positivity for an entire song, and it doesn't get overwhelming. It's just like, I'm like, yes, I agree with you, Chance.
Yes!
Yes! Like, I'm on board with everything you're saying. Keep hitting me with that sunshine. Same Drugs, great song. The piano was a really nice touch underneath it. It's like almost like a rap ballad.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved it.
Great hybrid chance.
Mixtape is a really cool track because it's the hybrid of, I think, 3 different stories. It's a storytelling track. It almost feels like, lyrically, almost like a Nas track or something, where it just kind of goes through this progression of a story and then it changes its perspective to someone else. And I loved it. I was actually interested in hearing the lyrics. It was more than just a song that I was like taking in. I was listening to hear where the story went, and that's really difficult to do. I feel like you have to really have something special in the music and the lyrics to be able to, have that.
Mm-hmm.
For Angels, I don't have too much written. I just wrote instant classic. I think it was my favorite up to that point. Just awesome. Like, that's a great track. I'm like overwhelmed right now. This is so much to talk about on first impression.
We just have all these good things
So
to say.
So many good things.
Good
I have like nothing. I have like one negative comment on the whole album. We'll get to it.
Juke Jam was like a shout out to past lovers. It was like funny.
Yeah, and Justin Bieber was even great on it. I mean, his little part, I was on board with that.
Mm-hmm.
Solid track. We're continuing on. It's still good. Still really good. Like way above average. And then All Night came out of nowhere. This like club banger, but it wasn't like soulless. It was a song for the clubs, but it has so much soul. Like all of the music. This whole album can just be described as something so much soul.
Didn't you say this was like the summer hit?
This is yeah. I mean, this album is like the summer album.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be listening to this all summer.
But this song
is like the hit of the summer, and I think it's. I mean, I can't wait to listen to it again. It was
I
so
couldn't
good.
stop moving.
No,
I'm like
you can't.
so tired.
It's infectious.
And then I couldn't stop moving. And then it took a turn.
Yeah. I feel like the energy dropped a little bit at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I feel like if we maintained that energy for the whole album, it might have gotten a little stale, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I will say How Great is the next track, and it had this 3-minute gospel intro that was cool at first. Minute 1, I was like, this is cool. Minute 2, I was like, this is cool. Minute 3, I was like, it's going a little too long. I kind of wanted the song to start. And then it's a fairly long song, and once he starts rapping around minute 3, the song is great. But I think my only complaint is that this intro is so long. I feel like every time I listen to the album, I'm going to kind of like hope that it goes faster. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I really liked it. I was just not ready for that vibe right after All Night.
Yeah, I think that is a weird transition too, because it's just like this in your face, and then it's kind of just like slows down and slows for a while. But
yeah.
I don't know, maybe after repeated listens it'll grow on me.
Definitely, I think it will too. I think it's just something we have to get used to as listeners. But after that, it didn't take me a while to get back in because I was never lost. But it was just kind of like okay.
You're along for the ride. It wasn't like hitting you in the face anymore. Smoke Break, I mean, it features Future, and you guys know my thoughts on Future, but this is my favorite Future verse I've ever heard because it wasn't a trap beat. I was just saying in our last video about Future, I was like, why does he only rap on trap beats? I know he's a trap rapper. This is my first time hearing him on like a different beat, and I thought it was great, so maybe I'll give Future more of a chance now that I kind of heard that. I'm like, alright. Finish Line Drown is such a good second to last song. This is my favorite Chance flow on the entire album. He just has this incredible confidence and swagger, and he's able to I'm enamored by it.
I'm in awe just because he's so young. Like, he's gonna be like Kanye. Like, what's he gonna do in 10 years?
Yeah. Yeah. I know, that's super exciting. I mean, Chicago just keeps birthing these incredible artists. It's true. And then it closes with Blessings again. I guess it's a reprise. It doesn't say that, but it's not the same as the single. Really nice outro. It feels like Ultralight Beam also, his verse on there. Very, very conversational, but also, very powerful.
And it wrapped up the album so well from like beginning to end with
it's a little bow on top and just pulling the bow and it's done. And he's like, here you go. You guys have absolutely no excuse not to listen to this.
Zero.
Because it's free. It's a mixtape. He put it out on Apple Music. You can go right now on your iTunes and listen to this for free. You don't have to spend any money. You can go listen to it and appreciate how good this album is. I mean, the fact that he's giving this to us for free is such a boon.
How gracious is he?
Like, we love you, Chance.
Chance, I want to hug you.
Like, it's just, this is such a magical thing that he gave to us that we're going to be appreciating for so long now. I am floored at how much I like this album on first listen. I mean, Acid Rap, first listen I wasn't like jazzed. It grew on me and I love it now. But this album immediately, maybe just because I'm more used to Chance's style at this point, maybe because he wowed me on Kanye's album, this album for me is a 9 out of 10 first listen.
For me, I'm going to say, coming from a person who wouldn't put on rap and hip hop as their first or second choice, it's a solid 8.8.
That's your highest score for hip hop on the channel, I think.
It is. It is definitely my highest score just because it's so positive and like that's what we need in today's age. And,
It's true. Yeah.
And he's so young and like I appreciate that.
Well, we would love to hear what you guys think. What you think of your favorite tracks. What you think of the whole mixtape.
Facebook us, comment down below, Instagram us. We're here to talk to you.
All right, guys. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sandy.
And this is Damn It, Sandy. You know this by now.